after surveying 35,000 people that the study found the U.S. population is leaning more toward no religious affiliation than ever before. Shannon Tanner is pastor of Crosspoint Church and believes society also is growing more polarized and the country is suffering from the breakdown of the family unit. So is America losing its religion, and why could this be happening? The decline in Christianity is our topic this half hour, and we want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page as well as on Twitter. You can use the hashtag Fox26forlife. Joining us live in the newsroom is our Roundup panel. It's led by our senior legal analyst Chris Tritico, our news analyst Mustafa Tamiz, and public policy analyst Jackie Bally. What do you guys think about the report?
Well, I don't think the report went far enough to tell us why. I mean, they asked the question, how do you affiliate? And those identifying as Christian went down 7% over the period of time, while during the same period, those identifying as Jewish, Muslim, and Hindu went up slightly. But they didn't ask the critical question that we really need to know, and that's why. And so it leaves us to ponder what the issue is, and is it a general decline in faith or something that's happening in the United States, which is the world's leading population in Christians anyway. And so, Jackie, we need more information, but do you think that the politicization that we've had over the last 10 years of religion has something to do with this?
I think there are a couple of factors. I think the fact that our population is becoming more diverse. As you said, they did mention that Jewish, Hindu, and Muslim, those are increasing. So the more diverse we become as a population, the more you'll see different variations and different versions of whatever your faith may be. They also mentioned that younger people, the younger population, that they're more disillusioned with the whole establishment, the faith establishment. I can say my two young men, thank goodness, don't fall in that line. They're very strong Christians. But that's in part because my mother, I wish I could take all the credit, but she really instilled that. So I think it has to come with your family values. They mentioned the fact of the family unit is disintegrating. And so a lot of the young people, their mindset about faith is based on what they see in their homes. So there's so many different factors we're looking at, but I do think that the diversity of our population is a key factor.
What do you think the issue is?
I don't know. I mean, I think the other side to this is that 70% of our country is Christian. So it's if you're seeing some decline, it's in percentages, but vast majority is Christian. And we're probably a more spiritual, more religious nation than Europe, substantially so. So I think we sometimes read too much into these polls and these changing trends. For the most part, we're a majority Christian country, 70%. We are probably far more religious than Europe, because I've spent a lot of time in Europe going back and forth recently, and you find that the trends there are we're in the 50s versus being in the 70s. So I think that sometimes we study things in a way where we want to read analysis based on our thesis.
The New York Times summed it up kind of the way I was, saying they didn't tell us why, but they say that the low levels of Christian affiliation among the young, well-educated, and affluent are consistent with prevailing theories for the rise of the unaffiliated, like the politicization of religion by American conservatives, a broad disengagement from all traditional institutions and labels, and the combination of delayed and interreligious marriage and economic development, which is kind of what Jackie was saying.
I don't think I'm with the New York Times in terms of quickly analyzing this. We are changing as a society in not just how we communicate, but how we relate to each other. And the aspects of faith, more people are taking a spiritual route rather than the traditional religious route that we have sought in terms of ceremonial type of religion. So I don't know if that really gets captured in this, because as I see our country, I don't see less religion. I actually see more in the public space.
Is a 7% decline from 2007 to 2015 cause for concern?
No, it is not. And I think another thing, they did put a lot of young people in this survey. And when you're younger, you're formulating your thoughts on a lot of things. You're formulating your thoughts on how you are affiliated from a political standpoint, economic, you're entering the workforce. So the fact that maybe a younger person may say, I don't identify as a Christian, I may not go to church as often as my parents, does not indicate where we're going to see them maybe 10, 15, 20 years as they continue in their adult life. So no, I don't think that. I think it's still small enough of a percentage. And I think I will concur with Mustafa. The fact that we are 70% Christians shows that we are still very strong faith. And I think the one thing we'll see, and Texas will definitely lead that, is a lot of our policy points that we're going to see coming up in the future. That's when you're going to realize that we still have a very strong Christian faith-based population.
But if the percentage does continue to, we got a minute left, but if the percentage does continue to decline, won't we have to see changes in the way we're doing things on the state and national level politically?
Well, you're seeing things, like you're seeing things, for example, in the LGBT community, you're seeing more acceptance of that. And so if faith communities push against those type of issues, the younger population, doesn't mean that they have less faith, but they're less involved in organized religion. And I think that is a phenomenon that is occurring, where more people are spiritual and less affiliated with established religious organization.